We're going to do a glute finisher. So we've got 3 movements. We're going to do a glute bridge. So I recommend having a medium or a heavy band. Then we're going to go into a bodyweight candlestick glute bridge. And then finally we're going to do a side plank clamshell. So if you have a lighter band, then I recommend using that. We're going to do 30 seconds of each exercise with a 10-second rest in between. First exercise, we're going to be doing a glute bridge. Second exercise, we're going to take the band off and we're going to do a candlestick, so holding the glute bridge position as we bring the leg up and down. We're going to do 15 seconds on one side and then 15 seconds on the other side. And then the last exercise that we're going to be doing is a side plank clamshell. So we're going to do 30 seconds, rest 10, and then do 30 seconds on the other side. And we're going to repeat for 2 rounds. I have 2 resistance bands. One is light and one is medium. I recommend the light one for the clamshells, and the medium one, or a heavy one even, will be good for the glute bridges. So we're going to start 30 seconds and then 10 seconds rest. So come down into your glute bridge position. So I want to work on really pumping the muscle. So I'm not going to come all the way down and reset my back position. I'm just going to work on that top 3/4 of the movement without coming all the way down, just making sure that my ribs are flat, so I'm not arching the lower back and I'm not pushing out my ribs. I'm coming down nice and gently, but again, not all the way down. I'm driving my elbows into the ground, pressing out slightly on the band. And then we're going to rest for 10 seconds, and then we're going to do 15 seconds per side. So I want to keep the hip up, keep the glute squeezed, keep the hips in line. So I don't want to drop one hip to the floor as we bring the knee up. And then we're going to switch. So top hip position, leg out, and then we're going to come all the way up. So we're also working on hamstring flexibility as we do this, while working on keeping the hips aligned. Push through the heel. And then we're going to go into our side clams. So band above the knee, set to one side, straight line. We're going to come up, and then we're going to open the knee as much as possible. Come down with the body, lift up with the body, open up the knee. So we're working on lateral core, and we're also working on glute medius in the glutes. So we're pivoting from the foot and opening up the hip as much as we can. You're going to feel it on the glute medius on the leg or the side that's down as well. Quick 10-second rest, so we've got time to change sides. Set up, elbow underneath the shoulder, feet on top, and then we're going to pivot. And we're going to come up and round. So I want to open up the knee as far over as I can. Make sure that the hips are stacked on top of each other as I come over. And you're going to really feel it burning on the side of the hips. Push up from the hip instead of focusing on pushing up through the shoulder. And 10-second rest, and then we're going to go back into our glute bridges. So grab your medium or your heavy band if you've got it above the knee, and I'm going to go straight back down. So 3/4 of the way down, pumping the muscle so we get a nice burn on the glutes rather than coming down, taking our time to reset in between. Pin the shoulders down to the floor, make a fist, drive through the elbow, really squeeze the bum together. At the top, nice flat hips, full hip extension at the top, so you shouldn't be able to see your knees when you're performing the exercise. If you can, you're not taking the hips up high enough. Band off, and then we're going to go into our candlestick glute exercise. So coming up to the top of the glute bridge, and then we're going to extend the foot 15 seconds. So I want to perform this movement quite slowly, mindfully, Focus on keeping the hips in line. Glute engage. Might feel it a little bit in the quad. And we're going to switch sides. Hips in line. All the way up. Nice and controlled leg position. Core engaged. Stop the hips dropping. Head pressed into the floor. Last side clam. So, light band on. Side plank position. And we're coming all the way up. And then opening the knee at the top. Pivot at the foot. And try to keep the body open, so try not to crunch your torso down to the floor. Keep a nice sideways posture. And we're going to switch sides. Hips stacked, elbow under shoulder, up, opening up the hip as much as we can. So down in one smooth transition, all the way up, all the way open. Put your hands on the hips. Just try not to have the hand out in front. That's going to encourage us to rotate the hips. And that's it. That's our glute finisher complete.